Jodan True, and welcome to my Let's Play of Star Trek Online on the PS4. I am the Big B82, and this is part 95 of my Romulan Republic Federation aligned tactical officer. I'm about to undertake the first mission in what is the New Frontiers story arc. Where we're basically in game where it's taken off is we have picked up right up after the Iconian War, of course, because the Temporal War, which we were part of in the last few parts, officially didn't happen because nobody really knew about what, as Daniel said, nobody knew about what we did, so there would be no parades or anything. So basically this is directly after the Iconian War. So we're going to howl and speak with our boss, Titan, and then we'll get the show on the road. So I'll show you around our new ship, the Khopesh class scimitar.
The Lukari people have recently completed work on a warp-capable exploration starship, and they are eager to put it to use. The Romulan Republic is, as always, pleased at the opportunity for beneficial relations. We have decided to assist the Lukari in joining the galactic community. The Lukari intend to explore space at the edge of the known Alpha Quadrant. By sending a Republic ship to aid them, we can share in valuable discoveries and help to ensure goodwill between our people. Offer protection and advice, and be sure to represent the best that the Republic has to offer.
Okay, so let's accept. Now, I don't understand why the star's gone dark. That's because that's somebody playing who hasn't played it before. Anyway, so it's an unknown system to them, but we know it's the Lukari system. Before we do, this is our new ship. Picks up at the end of the last, at the end of the Temporal War mission, Ragnarok. So this is it. This is the Khopesh, the Khopesh Tactical Dreadnought Warbird. Finally back in our warbirds, and we can cloak. So let's begin. Echoes of Light. This is one of the first proper missions that we picked up. Size of our ship. It's pretty huge. We've arrived in the Lukari system. I'm reading their starship in standard orbit there. I'm picking up some comm traffic. Sounds like the Captain Kamarke is in the middle of a discussion with a Ferengi Damon. Helm, take us to the Lukari ship.
My dear friend Kamarka, just think about how much I can help.
I try not to think about you at all, Margaret.
If not me, consider my wealth of useful contacts. For a small fee.
Any friend of yours is someone I'd rather not know.
What? You? I thought I'd seen the last of you. That is to say, we meet again.
Damon Maldron. Fortunate for you, our business is with the Lukari today.
Oh, come now. I'm sure we can reach an agreement that is to everyone's liking. I'm prepared to offer you an exclusive, once-in-a-lifetime investment opportunity.
Torn Kev, cut the channel. How the Lukari.
Thank you. That insistent Ferengi has been trying to make new trade deals with us since he first visited our system. Oh, everything he tries to sell is either broken or worthless.
No problem. You look well, Captain.
Thank you. It's good to see you again, and under much better circumstances. You'll be happy to know that our star remains stable. We've not seen any Tholian ships since the incident, thankfully. The decision to explore was somewhat controversial, however. Many Lukari were resistant to the notion. We settled this moon long ago, after we were forced to leave our dying homeworld of Kentar. It was a difficult journey for us. Once we found our new home, no one was very excited about space travel. Still, the exploration initiative passed. Considering my experience, my people have chosen me to command the LSS Concordium. It was an honor I proudly accepted. Our ship is ready to go, and you are.
Tell me about your ship.
While we have some catching up to do, we've engaged the best engineering minds of our world to modify this vessel. I'm quite proud. We've done a lot in a very short period of time. We've added some of your defensive technology to this ship, as well as some warp drive upgrades. The Concordium is now capable of sustaining a top speed of just over warp 4. Our collaboration with your engineers has been quite inspirational. We've started work on a starship of our own design. One of many to follow the Concordium to the stars. Our ship is ready to go, and you are.
Let's proceed to our destination.
For our maiden voyage, I've chosen a star that is close enough to be within reach, but still just outside the area of space that you've explored, and obviously one that we haven't visited yet. According to your star charts, it's a yellow-white star called 20 DRACONIS.
Navigation, prepare a course.
This isn't over. Believe me. The next deal we make will be on my terms.
Okay. I mean, I'm in a scimitar.
We've arrived on the outskirts of the system. There's a large field of rocky debris and asteroids. We're picking up various metals and crystalline formations. Should we approach one of the larger asteroids and take some more readings?
Yes, we'll head to one of the large asteroids and scan it. Not exactly what this ship was designed for, of course. That's what she was designed for.
Readings coming in now. Large quantities of silicate, hematite, cadmium, iridium. Crystalline structures appear to be the result of deposits created under a heavy impact. Perhaps this asteroid was part of a larger one that broke up in a collision. Heading deeper into the field may yield more clues.
Agreed. I'm not going to
Sensors are
repeat.
picking up some movement on the far side of the asteroid. Not simple orbiting debris either.
I always wanted to pilot a scimitar. I created an engineer, and they're not really designed for engineers. They're more designed for tactical officers. General rule of thumb is I'm supposed to be flying the engineering variant of this, not the tactical version. I don't give a shit about following the norms.
Cosmozoans, they're beautiful. Do you have any information about them?
They're called the Geki. They're sending you data on them now.
Intriguing. The Gekli communicate using radio waves and feed on dust particles and energy emissions. And, it seems an adjustment of our EN band is in order. I don't like the idea of the Concordium becoming a Gekli food source.
We're adjusting our EMB band down to 002 cycles as well.
We've adjusted our power systems. I'd like to gather more data on the Gekli before we move on. Any suggestions?
We could tag them with subspace data transmitters.
An excellent idea. We'll be able to track their movements and learn more about their migratory patterns and feeding habits. We'll need to get close in order to attach the tags safely.
Agreed. Okay.
Data's coming in from the Gekli. I'd like to expand the number of tagged subjects to optimize data collection. Let's get close enough to slip in with a pod and join them in their swimming.
Right. Not exactly in the ship designed to do that. Well, we'll do it, we'll try. Okay, so let's go and see if we can fly with the Gekli. I'm not quite sure how it's going to be possible in a ship the size of a small moon, but we'll try.
We're getting close-up readings from all of the creatures.
I'm in a scimitar, man. This is not going to be easy. I forgot about this Gekli swimming bollocks. Hold still, or shall I shoot you? Oh, they are holding still. Cool.
They're treating us like one of their own. They're trying to talk to us with their radio waves. That was incredible. What a singular experience. We've spotted a larger group of them in an area not too far from here. This looks like a feeding ground for several Gekli pods. Let's go have a look.
Very well, Helm, take us to the Gekli feeding grounds. Bloody Gekli. Yeah, of course, Gekli, of course, you know, from a TNG episode where they killed the mother and the baby. It's the first meeting with Georgie's crush. What's her name? Leah Brahms.
There are signs that several Gekli pods frequent this area. There's a lot of dust and particulate matter, but we can't see how the asteroids are getting broken down. I think there's something we're not seeing on the visible spectrum. Your ship has a stronger deflector than ours. Can you emit a particle wave? We could use that to illuminate things that might be happening in different spectra.
We can try to emit a multi-spectrum particle wave.
There's some kind of subspace shearing here. It's causing cosmic strings to snap off and break up the asteroids. That must be why the Gekli feed here. There's plenty of particulate matter for them to consume in the debris fields. I think we've collected some solid data here. We're ready to move on when you are.
Let's see what lies ahead then. Right, so next section.
Sensors are reading a swarm of comets passing by this stellar body. They look to have an orbital period of about 173 of your standard years. I'd like to know if they came from outside of the system and were caught in its gravity, or if they originated here. Shall we take some scans?
That's a good way to begin.
This comet is mostly ice and dust. There are indications that the cometary matter formed around a magnetic core. The other comets may be more interesting. Let's move to the other comets and study them closely.
Agreed, let's check out the remaining comets.
Shows signs of magnetic radioactive matter. This comet may have seen some interesting particle fields in its wandering.
The magnetic core must help it draw the material that forms the corona. Right, last comet. I hate this minigun. It's my least favourite of all the mini games, to be perfectly honest.
Holding the comet let us get some detailed readings about its emissions. Based on the structure of its silicate crystals, it's been in a pattern. It picks up energy from its trip near the star, then loses that energy as it loops past the planets. It's like ice melting and refreezing, but it seems to lose a large quantity of energy all at once near here. I'm not sure why. The radioactivity should be steady.
Perhaps something is draining energy. Let's keep looking.
These comets seem to have a long orbit that coincides with the orbit of a Class A planet nearby. I'd like to launch a probe and see if the cometary movements have had any impact on the planet.
Agreed.
Probe data received. The planet is radiating a considerable amount of heat for its size. Nothing our shields can't handle, but I don't see any expeditions to its surface happening anytime soon. Curious. I'm picking up several large, moving sources of energy. Sensors indicate they're a life form of some kind. A cosmozoan, but not the Gekli. I'd like to study them if we can.
Let's get a closer look at those life forms. Right, I am not waiting for them for their bloody slow ass ship.
The planet is geothermal in nature. Its surface is partially molten.
They don't activate their they don't
No
activate
life
full
forms detected
impulse.
planetside. Then again, it is rather warm down there. There they are. Magnificent, aren't they?
Yes, the encounter from Farpoint aliens. The giant space jellyfish. The Hanar would be proud.
The creatures are luminescent ovoids? I'm not sure how to describe them. They remind me of an aquatic life form native to Lukari Prime. There are little ones huddling close to the planet's atmosphere. They must use the heat and the planet's electrical discharges to survive.
We're a type of Onmadarian. We're sending files on them now.
Interesting. These life forms were encountered by the USS Enterprise D on Deneb 4, someplace called Farpoint Station. They haven't been seen anywhere else since. We shouldn't harm them or their young. Let's transmit a greeting, then be on our way.
Right. We'll transmit. We'll get close enough and greetings to the Cosmosians.
The color display must be a form of communication. I didn't realize that life forms could exist in this fashion, living off the heat of planets, feeding on the particles in space, absorbing radiation from the cosmos. There's so much to see. Let's head to the next planet in the system and see what's there.
Okay. Don't try
Are
you
you
don't.
seeing this? My sensors indicate this planet is completely devoid of any organic material. And yet, it has a breathable atmosphere and lies well within the system's habitable zone. Most curious.
Agreed. I think a closer look is in order, Captain.
I'm picking up residual levels of radiation. Oh my. I believe I know what happened to this world. Some kind of proto-matter wave happened here.
Protomatter, but that's dangerously unstable.
Not if you know how to resolve the chaotic turbulence with a Tarfine reduction. This was a recent event. Some kind of proto-matter incident happened, and it wiped out all life on the planet. I think we should send an away team down to learn more.
Cuttlefish. Agreed. We'll bring down and see what's happening. Beam to the dead planet. It's a bit ominous. Right, we'll take Snatcher, who's my science officer, and I think we'll take Beryl, who's my engineer. Shouldn't be any combat down on the planet. They need 2 tacticals.
Oh, not sure I'll ever get used to transporters. Let's see. Initial scans suggest this area used to be inhabited, but I can't find a single trace of organic matter. None. I see some carvings on those canyon walls. Let's take a look.
I'm fine, Khopesh. How are you? That pillar near the canyon looks like an interesting one as well. Yes. So, entire planet devoid of life. A headache. Yeah. Headaches suck. I suffer from migraines myself.
The walls of this canyon were worked by tools. I'm sure of it. Sentient life forms lived here. Until the proto-matter detonation. This pillar here. It seems to be a sign pointing to that canyon. Perhaps a pathway there leads to a settlement of some kind. I'm reading metallic objects there as well. Shall we take a look?
Yes. I'm not going to keep repeating. I have a tendency to keep repeating what they say.
There's some kind of large structure further down the canyon.
It's like I'm bloody repeating what she says.
Look at the size of that plaza. These people must have had quite a developed culture. Let's take some readings up there. This looks like a town square or ceremonial center of some kind. I see some murals on the far side of the square over there by that arch. I'd like to examine them. They might tell us more about this place.
See what I mean? It's like we're basically going, yes, I shall examine them for you. Agreed. I need to repeat it. Alright, seeing the first set of murals. Okay.
These murals depict people bringing some objects to this place. Crystals or gems, I believe? They built their settlement around this site. I believe it was a place of great significance to them. The next mural may hold more clues for us. Let's have a look.
Right, let's check it. The next mural. Yeah, let's check the next mural. I don't know what we got.
This mural depicts the construction of this large structure. I suspect it was a temple or a place of contemplation for the people. The crystals were revered by the locals, perhaps even worshipped by them. We'd better have a look at the next mural, don't you think?
Yes.
The crystals depicted in this mural appear to be growing for some reason. I wonder if this is a symbolic or literal representation of events. Perhaps the structure needed to be modified to hold the volume of crystals they collected over the years.
I didn't know about that app. Create your own protocol. Hmm. That sounds interesting. The crystals may have grown through natural means as well.
Quite the enigma we found here. I suspect there's more to be found inside. Getting there will be a challenge, however. According to my scans, these pillars are connected to some kind of massive mechanical structure. Probably the peak of technology for these people. I believe it's some kind of opening mechanism for the structure's door.
Oh, like something like this, like does a log for you. Good at for RPs. Yeah, If it does your own captain's log, that'd be pretty cool. I know the PC version of this game, you could do your own logs, and then it published them to the website. I don't know if they still do it, but you could like type out your own logs. Can we open it and deploy some kind of device or using our truck?
We could probably force it open, but that could damage the structure, and too much force could even collapse it entirely. I suggest we create a holographic forensic reconstruction.
Holographic reconstruction of local life.
Yes, it would be based on analysis of things like footprints, wear patterns, and local construction. We can learn what people did here, how they went about their lives, and how they made the device work. We'd be watching a replay of history, roughly speaking. Let's start by gathering information from relics and leftover traces of the people who once lived here.
Let's look for old tools, footprints, and anything that we could tell us about them. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if it does it. I don't know if it's here. Like a journal used to be. You got your captain's logs in here. And your communications, but on the PC version you could do a personal log. And when you posted it, they like set it to the game's actual start date. As you can see, this game's start date is here. So where is it? Start date 99018.74. It's not the in-game start date. I think it's from when the server first became active. I remember it used to be like 90 something. So yeah, a personal captain's log thing, that'd be pretty nifty. Maybe Cryptic should get crack-a-lacking on that, you know.
These artifacts were used with opposable thumbs and indicate a likely handspan of 22 centimeters.
Maybe they could collaborate with somebody to make something that integrate into the game.
Based on these footprints, these people had a stride that places them at about 1.6 meters on average. The wear patterns here show us that people leaned against here frequently. This was a meeting and gathering area.
I might check that out though, get like a personal look or something.
Strange. These relics should be covered with dust and sand, worn away by time and wind. But they're all uncovered. No organic matter left, and everything left behind in its place. Frozen in time, like
these people died recently.
Yes. The evidence seems clear. The proto-matter detonation happened only weeks, perhaps even days ago. We're going to need to make an accurate simulation to continue our studies here. I suggest using modified pattern enhancers to do this.
Agreed. Doing some personal trek protocol. I'll just see if I can find it. But yeah, it's always something nice to like. To make things different.
Enhancers online. The signal is strong and clear.
Because for my Starfleet characters, I do a captain's
2 down,
log.
2 to go.
I've got here as a commander's log because I don't really I don't know the Romulan star dates, because Romulan star dates and Klingon stuff is and they got like a different year because the Klingons operate on the year of Kalis.
That's 3. 1 more and we'll be ready.
And they're not exactly forthcoming on what the year of Kalis it is.
That's the last one. All enhancers online and standing by.
So
all right. The enhancers should give us a pretty good image range. Your tricorder can then act as the center of the network control for the enhancers. I can tie in my data to your tricorder whenever you're ready. Get a little close to the center of the square so we can see what happens.
But I use a website that I found randomly, which does calculates which does star dates. It's nice to have an accurate star date, and it's actually pretty close. It doesn't, however, do anything below like the 20. It can't do the anything in the 22nd or 23rd century. Which is a bit disappointing. I think maybe because the star dates in the original series were a bit weird, and Enterprise operated on a thing that uses real Earth dates, so. Yeah, the year of Kalis. I think the only mention I've seen of it was in the it's, I think it's from the founding of the Empire, so it's 1,000 years. I think the only time I've seen it mentioned was when Worf was doing a log while he was first officer of the Rotaran on Deep Space Nine. Is when the year of the Kalis 997, I think it is. But it's not easy. Yeah, so it was Soldiers of the Empire. Worf was the executive officer. It was just the 53rd day of the year of Kalis 999. So I think it was like, it must have been from the founding of the Empire. I need to watch this now, but yeah, I think that's what it's 999. So I need to find out what year that was, and in terms of. But
note that the alien is using the pillars in a specific order.
So it's quite specific.
They're making the murals match up on each pillar.
Well, I can't. I'll do for RP.
Looks like some kind of functionary, priest or bureaucrat, I think, would unlock the door by turning the murals on the pillars. The top mural on each pillar seems to be locked in place for reference. We should follow the order they used on the pillar murals. If we can turn them correctly, I believe we'll unlock the door.
It's in order. Well, I've never really collaborated with anybody, so also depending on what system you're on, because there's no crossplay on this game.
Do you hear that? That's the first pillar set in place.
If you're an Xbox player, I can't play with you. here on PS4.
That's 2 pillars set into place.
Well, at the moment they do have the Delta recruit still running. Could do something around that.
Three pillars are locked in now.
And they've changed the Delta recruit now. The story arc of it is very different because they removed most of the missions that were very much associated with it. They're all gone these days. Right, I'm busy on a Wednesday anyway.
That's it! It's working! Well done! Shall we see what secrets this building holds? I think I see another mural inside the doorway. We should take a look at it.
I don't mind. I'm more than happy to play, like, help someone out on the game. Yeah, I'm pretty tiny in terms of YouTube. Yes, let's go inside and check out that next mural. Yeah, I'm pretty tiny. I mean, I only started picking up subscribers because of this. When I was back in the day, in comparison to most people, I'm pretty small. That is a Starfleet insignia.
Am I seeing things? That icon. It's the symbol of Starfleet. How could it be here, in an alien temple far from the Federation? This is getting stranger by the minute. We should search the temple for more murals.
Indeed. I'm happy to play with other people. I mean, do a TFO and stuff like that, but playing through is a bit
Those people in
weird.
The picture, they don't look like the others.
They're from Starfleet, but Starfleet is the 23rd century.
Could it be? Could Starfleet have established contact with these people in the 23rd century? And if so, why would they keep it a secret? We should head deeper into the temple and continue our search.
Affirmative. Well,
I think the panel on the wall here can be pushed to open something.
you don't say, Kilmarky. You don't say.
Those inner doors across from the panel are opening.
Yeah, like I say, I'm happy to do TFOs and stuff. I'm happy to play through a little bit. Because some of the missions, some of the stuff you need different classes to do.
What is all of this? According to my tricorder, we've reached ground zero. This is where someone detonated the protomatter bomb. From here, a self-propagating cascade of proto-energy radiated outward in all directions, washing over the entire planet.
Could this have been a failed terraforming project?
Doubtful. I believe what did this was built specifically as a weapon. There's no new ecosystem. All life was eliminated. I'm picking up a residual energy signature here. Take a look. 16-centimeter wavelength with a slight kaon leak. I've seen this before. It's a byproduct of Zenkethi technology.
Zenkethi? Here? Ah, the Zenkethi. So, we found a derelict space station orbit around the planet. It's unpowered and covered in decades of rust, which made it hard to pinpoint in the asteroid ring. Unfortunately, we aren't the only ones here. Several starships have arrived in the system and are trying to claim the station. What should we do? Give me a site-to-site transport direct to the station. Keep the Lukari ship protected. Yeah, like I say, different classes, but they kind of go on trying to fault because I'm trying to play the game. But yeah, it's different classes. I think it's like Stranded in Space, one of the missions where you need all three things if you want to get all the accolades. I think there's not that many missions that they required all different classes anymore. Which is a bit disappointing, because it kind of grouping up with people was kind of like an exciting thing to do. It did quite a lot, but it's not needed anymore these days. We're on one of the old K series Federation deep space stations, but how did it get out here? What happened to it? There's a placard over on the wall. Let's see if there's anything recognisable. It says Deep Space K-13, Admiral. That station was lost in time over 100 years ago. Lost in time and space. K-13 was in the Beta Quadrant before.
You're trespassing. I'm claiming this station as salvage, along with everything in it. A little piece of history like this will be quite the vacation site. Experience life on the final frontier at Quadrant's K-13. But I digress. Unless you're here to discuss leasing opportunities, I suggest you beam off my station.
It's not your station yet, and I think I'll have a look around.
Careful. This old beauty needs some serious repairs. It'd be a shame if something happened to you, or the active stasis pod my friend found on.
Then I'll see it. Nothing like that happens. Daemon Maris out.
Fair warning. My Gnostican gods aren't very fond of
They've managed to activate some K-13 security fields.
Consider their living
Right. Let's read a supplemental log.
Chief Engineer's Log, March 18th, 1570. Had a discussion this morning with security about our Klingon prisoners in Brig. We can't just leave them locked up, or execute them, or exile them on the planet below. Setting them free isn't a popular notion either. We're still looking for options, but I think the stasis pods we have in medical will come in handy real soon.
Right, let's override the security field. Admiral, this technology is ancient but surprisingly functional, at least at a rudimentary level. They built things to last in the 21st century. Nauticans managed to get partial power online, but they did it in a hurry. It could go down at any moment. In the meantime, I've managed to drop those security fields. We can access other parts of the station. Anything else on the computer? There are some log files in the computer as well. Most of them are garbled, but I believe I can restore the last entry. Let's hear it.
Chief Engineer's Log, supplemental. By my account, we've been hurled back in time to the 16th century. To make matters worse, we're a very long way from the den of the system. None of our shuttles are warp capable, and even if we could get to Earth, we'd be in the wrong time. In short, we're stuck. There's nothing to do now but wait and try to conjure up a way to get back to the right time.
This computer lost the ability to link with the main computer, but with the security fields down, we can get to the other lab. Fuck's sake. From there, we'll be able to get into the main computer and lock the Nauticans out. That will keep them from bringing the fields back online or using the stations to stop us. let's see what we can find in the other lab.
Fines for trespassing are quite severe, and I plan on collecting them.
Of course, if you want to find out what happened to the to this station and how it got here, I do have a playthrough for 23rd century, 23rd century TOS character. I could, you know, hearing the TOS doors never get old, and I'm about to die. I love the sound of those doors. Yeah. Sorry. The inner child in me is playing.
Chief Engineer's Log, August 6th, 1570. The warp booster sled project is officially a bust. When we tried to spin up the coils, we couldn't get a stable warp field. Yashby and Arlington managed to shut it down and stop a breach, but the shuttle's impulse drive is shot. I hate giving up, but we just don't have the parts we need to make it work.
So when did they try to... What the hell? Veryl, you're teleporting, love. Looks like I'm out of the computer. I'm locking the Nauticans out of the main computer. That will keep them from taking over and from any more of the station subsystems. Good work. Any more information? Another log entry, Admiral. Play it.
Chief Engineer's Log, April 17th, 1570. Today we visited the planet we're calling DRACONIS 3 to collect supplies. The good news, there's a humanoid civilization down there. The bad news, a potential Prime Directive violation. Our landing party was seen beaming in by some of the locals. We're hoping that doesn't impact their culture in any way. One thing's for sure, they can't help us go home. Their tech level is Bronze Age at best.
Admiral, the station is so old and badly damaged that most of the security systems don't work anymore. However, if we can take over the central hub, we can lock it down and keep the Nauticans from bringing us any knowledge.
Trying my patience is going to cost you dearly.
Don't think there are any remains of the crew. Oh, you mean that? That's the it's the crew. They're in status. They're not dead. I think they're in stasis. This is a fleet station, so you repair it over time, and you get them walking around. I've never noticed that before. No, I've played this mission so many times. I've never noticed that you could actually see the crew of the station in stasis. Good spot there. I've never noticed them. One more supplementary wall here.
Enemy target. Chief Engineer's Log, July 9th, 1571. It's decided. Most of us are going into cryosis. Those who stay awake, well, there's the road. Going to live on a remote part of the planet below is likely, despite the Prime Directive issues. staying here isn't viable. When the supplies are gone and the remaining power is in the stasis pods, anyone left is a goner. This station.
Yeah, I've honestly played this mission so many times. If you hadn't mentioned it, I would never have noticed that they were in there. I've been in that room so many times to pick up the supplementary log, that I've never noticed that the crew are actually in the stasis behind on the wall. Let's bring up the auxiliary power. Yeah. Auxiliary power is coming up now, activating the low-level scattering field that will prevent the obstacles from beaming over reinforcements. And anything else? I found one last log entry in there, Admiral. Afraid the rest of the computer memory is heavily corrupted. Put it on screen.
Chief Engineer's log, July 26, 1571. Most of us went into stasis this morning. There weren't enough pods for everyone. 3 of us had to stay awake. We drew lots. Vaughn, Sheridan, and I were the lucky winners. Since we're out of options, we've decided to go native and live out our lives under Draconis 3. Hopefully, one day our records will be found, and the people of Station K-13 will be remembered.
Rule of Acquisition 431. When the shooting starts, let the mercenaries handle it. Handle this, Captain.
Typical Ferengi. Don't think there is a fire. My checks, there isn't a 401 rule of acquisition. That goes back to the Admiral, we need you back on the ship right away. Margarine and his Nautican allies are moving in to intercept us and the Concordium. Can't you handle it, Tarvin? It's amazing what you notice when other people... It's like I've watched other people play different games and like sit there and I go, you've missed something.
I see.
Finally, I've missed something.
I'll just add their fees to your time. I do hope you're good for it. Otherwise, I might have to take possession of that pretty ship of yours. Come to think of it, I'll be taking your ship anyway. Whether you're alive or not when I do is up to you.
You're welcome to try, Damon. I don't think you'll like the results. You really think you stood a chance against the scimitar?
That was quite an adventure. I knew Margarine was greedy and treacherous, but I never thought he was willing to kill to get what he wants. In spite of that, I feel like we've learned so much out here. And for the better.
It's often like this, Captain. Dangerous, but also filled with discovery.
Indeed. I'd say our first flight was a success. Now we need to share our discoveries with everyone back home. I hope today's events will convince my people of the continued need to explore and to be part of the galactic community. With luck, we'll do this again sometime, and soon. On behalf of the Lukari people, thank you.
You're welcome, Captain. Safe travels. I'll say that those events are better described as harrowing. The Zenkethi have been quite hurt for years, and now they're using protomatter bombs and committing genocide. There's also the problem of K-13. How did it even get here? I'll put in a call for, that's my fleet I joined, to send repair teams. The fleet can take control of this piece of history. All stations are reporting in. We can depart on your orders, Captain. Admiral. Well, the Federation know how it happened. I know it happened. I'm not going to tell you, Toven, because you annoyed me when we started out. Oh, about your bloody sister. My sister. Alright, put to command.
It seems our Lukari friends are fast learners when it comes to space exploration. I will be following their progress with great interest. News of this Zenkethi proto-matter weapon is most troubling, however. I do not relish the idea of a hostile species with the ability to render a planet devoid of life in a moment. We must know more of this, and soon. It is curious that the Zenkethi did not use their weapon upon the Federation, given their history. Perhaps this was but a test of the weapon, the first step on the path to war.
Yeah. To overcome the challenges of problem with this game is that everyone plays the same missions. Sounds like a good idea. Anyway, let's choose our reward, and these are Nautican weaponry disruptors, which are good if you're in a Klingon ship. I seem to like. There's the details of the set, if you like. Disruptor damage, hull penetration for the set, and disruptor net. Never really used the nautical weaponry systems, and energy lance, but we're gonna get the. I'm gonna break it down anyway. However, well, if you did a Starfleet character,
we've received some discomforting.
I can't be blabbering on. It is a live stream after all. If you did a Starfleet character, you could potentially RP that you were both members of the class of 2409. With the Delta recruit, you could add the twist that maybe the two of you will send back in time. It's an interesting concept, but with the game being like it is, and like having pretty much all the missions preset. I mean, the Federation missions are all set, and and I think probably the best one would be 2409, normal Starfleet character, because of the because you go through the academy. You could do a discovery one. They go through the academy as well, but that would mean having to play as a discovery character. And quite frankly, I couldn't stomach seeing any Discovery era stuff. I'd have to have a think about that, but I couldn't really. I'd have to have a think. Yeah, but definitely the Academy would be the better. The 2409 Academy would be the best one, and with Delta stuff, with the Delta recruit going on. You get the added bonuses of that. I would recommend creating a Delta character actually before they end it. I think it ends soon. If you haven't done one, recommend creating one. However, that is the end of part 95. When we return in part 96, we'll be doing the mission of Signs and Protons, which is the next mission. However, please subscribe. Comments are welcome, and I appreciate any thumbs up as well. Anything helps. Every little bit helps. And I will see you in part 96 when we carry on and see what exactly does Nkefia are up to. Until then, John on True and ciao for now. Never dealt with recruit tutorial. The tutorial takes you have to do all the tutorial stuff, and then like most of the games, it just says here's a tutorial, here's a little bit, this is how you fire your weapons, this is how you do the ground combat, and it just says right, piss off out into the universe and figure it out. Doesn't tell you about how to do weapons layouts and different builds and stuff like that. What different parts do, like what fleets are, and how much people are dicks on ESD, and they really are dicks on the ESD. If you want a nice quiet place, go to Deep Space Nine and play Dubbo. Alright. However, that's my mini ran out of the way. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in part 96. Until then, ciao for now.